Internet censorship in India is done by both central and state governments. DNS filtering and educating service users in suggested usages is an active strategy and government policy to regulate and block access to internet content on a large scale. Also, measures for removing content at the request of content creators through court orders have become more common in recent years. Initiating a mass surveillance government project like Golden Shield project is also an alternative discussed over the years by government bodies. The Open Net initiative classified India as engaged in selective internet filtering in the political, conflict, security, social, and internet tools areas in 2011. ONI describes India as a stable democracy with a strong tradition of press freedom that nevertheless continues its regime of internet filtering. However, India's selective censorship of blogs and other content, often under the guise of security, has also been met with significant opposition. Indian ISPs continue to selectively filter websites identified by authorities. However, government attempts at filtering have not been entirely effective because blocked content has quickly migrated to other websites and users have found ways to circumvent filtering. The government has also been criticized for a poor understanding of the technical feasibility of censorship and for haphazardly choosing which websites to block. In March 2012, Reporters Without Borders added India to its list of countries under surveillance, stating that, since the Mumbai bombings of 2008, the Indian authorities have stepped up internet surveillance and pressure on technical service providers, while publicly rejecting accusations of censorship. The national security policy of the world's biggest democracy is undermining freedom of expression and the protection of Internet users' personal data. Freedom House's Freedom on the Net 2017 report gives India a Freedom on the Net status of partly free, with a rating of 41 and violations of user rights was rated 20. India was ranked 26th out of the 65 countries included in the report. The Freedom on the Net 2012 report says, in June 2000, the Indian Parliament created the Information Technology Act to provide a legal framework to regulate Internet use and commerce, including digital signatures, security, and hacking. The Act criminalizes the publishing of obscene information electronically and grants police powers to search any premises without a warrant and arrest individuals in violation of the Act. A 2008 amendment to the IT Act reinforced the government's power to block internet sites and content and criminalized sending messages deemed inflammatory or offensive. Internet filtering can also be mandated through licensing requirements. For example, ISPs seeking licenses to provide internet services with the Department of Telecommunications shall block internet sites and/or individual subscribers, as identified and directed by the Telecom Authority from time to time, in the interests of national security. License agreements also require ISPs to prevent the transmission of obscene or otherwise objectionable material. In 2001, the Bombay High Court appointed a committee to oversee issues relating to online pornography and cybercrime. The court invited the petitioners, Jayesh Thakur and Sunil Thakur, to make recommendations on cyber laws. The committee published a report which analyzes the key issues and made recommendations regarding areas such as the licensing of cybercafes, putative identity cards for cybercafe visitors, that minors use computers in public spaces, and the maintenance of IP logs by cybercafes. The committee also recommended that internet service providers keep correct time logs and records. The report also addressed the protection of children from adult websites and advised internet service providers to provide parental control software for every internet connection. The committee also identified lack of technical knowledge in the police as a problem. The report was well received by the courts, and its recommendations are being implemented the police in cybercafes. The Cybercrime Investigation Cell was set up pursuant to a recommendation made by the committee. In 2003, the Government of India established the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team to ensure internet security. Its stated mission is to enhance the security of India's communications and information infrastructure through proactive action and effective collaboration. Cert-In is the agency that accepts and reviews requests to block access to specific websites. All licensed Indian ISPs must comply with Cert-In decisions. There is no review or appeals process. Many institutions, including the Ministry of Home Affairs, courts, the intelligence services, the police and the National Human Rights Commission, may call on it for specialist expertise. By stretching the prohibition against publishing obscene content to include